Hey guys, so before I get right into the meat of the proverbial meal of this video, I just want to say in the background, I'm going to be stickers I've purchased from Redbubble, and so if you want to help me out, then ask me about them and I'll send you a referral code. Now, I had a job interview today for the esteemed position of ride operator at Hershey Park. So yeah, it went pretty well. As I've jokingly said before, I've had to sacrifice my masculinity. I had to remind myself of what is important to me, and to tackle, and also I'm reminded of my general incompetence. Now, if we look at the first point, so there's 3 points, right? I'll talk about the first one. First point is me sacrificing my masculinity. So quite simply, I was asked if I can bend over regularly during the day. Now, if I was asked that question at school, I'd be very concerned at the implications. But since this was, of course, a very professional environment, I, of course, said yes to that question and then awkwardly chuckled after the fact. So, yeah, I don't feel the best about myself, but it happened. So, next up was, they asked me a different question about would I be comfortable working in the water park and helping people out of tubes and stuff. And me, in my head, I'm like, what goes on at the water park? And who would I be helping? And me, like, the two just fit. You know, like 1 equals 1. And I like it when it equals 2. So, yeah, bit of a silly question to ask if you ask me, but maybe I'm Amish or an ultra-conservative religious person who would be against working in a water park. So, but then again, those people probably don't sign up to be ride operators in the first place. And lastly, I had to work on a model electric fan. And so the first step asked me to turn the knob to the right. So pause the video and ask yourself, when it tells you, it literally says, turn knob to the right. You would imagine you would turn it like knob, right? No, I did that. It did it, but instead of going, it just didn't move at all. So because I'm reading the instructions like increasingly panically as the guys, and I'm like, remember. But then he's, after like 3 times of me struggling, he says, "You gotta do it the other way." I'm like, "Yay!" Next is and the next part where I failed was the key. So, using my vast life experience, I assumed that I put it in one way, the way it seemed like it would work, but it didn't go in completely. So I flipped it out and did it the other way. But then he said, "You had it right the first time." And I'm like, so I'm like, fine. And I did all, I narrated the rides and all that good stuff. So I got the job. However, I feel like I don't feel good about it, especially since Chipotle rejected me in the first place, forcing me to go to this place. But hey, if you're here, maybe you'll see me as one of the ride operators, and then you can go find the supervisor and put in a good word so I can get a good referral and all that good stuff, so I can make money, buy more of these stickers I can then use with these art canvases to work on these cool murals that are really pretentious and sort of a waste of money, but hey, It's my money. And to wrap up, this is actually quite the feel-good story. It's a reminder that you can be incompetent, useless, and slightly hormonal, but you can still get a job. And just like, it's actually quite fitting. This wasn't scripted at all, but this is this quote from Inception, a great film. I'm one of those Christopher Nolan fanboys. But it says, you mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger. I'll ignore the last word, because I haven't been called that word in a long time. Yeah. So honestly, like, don't be scared. Go in. Honestly, I was waiting for him. I was waiting for him to ask 2 questions. I was waiting for him to ask about my prior job experience. Yeah, that was the only question I was waiting for. Cause like, as soon as he said it, I've had work experience before as I could talk. I've had a blue collar job and a semi white collar job. I was just chomping at the bit to like explain how that makes me a great worker. Never asked that. Instead, he just asked me if I was willing to bend over during the workday.